Has Father Time finally caught up to LeBron James? I mean, over the last 4 games, it really hasn't looked like this same LeBron. He's been putting up very little points compared to what he's been averaging over the past couple seasons, and LeBron looked amazing at the start of the year, but we're really starting to see that decline of LeBron, not just necessarily in the points, but also just his first step doesn't look as quick. His finishing at the rim, he doesn't get as high on those dunks. I mean, he's still a great athlete. He's still one of the best athletes in the entire NBA. But we're really starting to see LeBron James slow down and take that decline. Now, I am a huge LeBron fan, so I still have that optimism and that faith in LeBron to pick it back up. And it's LeBron. I mean, we've been seeing this for 21, 22 years now. I'm sure he's going to go on another huge, really good scoring streak and put up 30 point games like it's nothing. And the main thing I want to talk about is the turnovers. I mean, in that last game against OKC, he looked very sloppy at the end of that game, just throwing really bad turnovers and kind of costing the Lakers the game against OKC. They only lost by 8, and LeBron put up a horrible stat line, 12 points, which I mean is nowhere near LeBron James status. But the main thing, like I said, those 5 turnovers really hurt the Lakers. He was horrible in that fourth quarter. And this year, LeBron is even playing worse defense than we've seen in his Lakers tenure. The thing about LeBron is he doesn't have that stamina and he doesn't have those legs to play great defense for a full game, but he still always was able to pick his spots defensively very smart, and he was able to, pick it up when he needed to on the defensive end. But this year, I haven't really seen much great defensive possessions from LeBron. Like I said, over the last 4 games, he's putting up 18 points, 18 points in back-to-back games, then 16 points, and then 12 games against the Thunder. So the scoring really isn't there for LeBron over the last 4 games. Now, I am recording this video before the Lakers do play the Jazz tonight, so we'll have to wait and see how that game goes. And it's LeBron, so I'm sure he's going to put up a 30-point triple-double performance. Now, that is one thing I will say about LeBron, as he's still putting up almost triple-double performances in these games where the scoring really isn't that high. For example, the game against the Spurs, right? He has 16 points, but he also does have 11 assists and 10 rebounds. So he's still providing more than just the scoring aspect of basketball. And I still think LeBron is a huge contributor and is still one of the better players in the NBA. He's still able to be a very, very solid player for this Lakers team. Like, it's not like LeBron is bad. He's not a bad NBA player. So when we're talking about has father time, finally arrived for LeBron, I mean, sure, it might be father time, but for LeBron James, that's still a all-star caliber player. And that just goes to show how good LeBron has obviously been over his long career, that we're talking about this is a washed or declined or, father time LeBron, and he's still putting up 16-point triple doubles, 18-point triple doubles, and he's still finding a way to impact the game. But the 2 main glaring issues, or maybe 3 main glaring issues that I'm having with LeBron, as a huge LeBron fan, right? That's something that I prefaced at the start of the video. I love LeBron. He's my favorite player of all time. I'm literally wearing a Lakers hoodie right now with LeBron James's number and jersey on it. I love the King. I love watching him play. I watch almost every single Lakers and LeBron game pretty much my entire childhood and, up until this point as well. But like I mentioned, the 3 main glaring issues for me with LeBron is number 1, his lack of defense and his lack of energy. Those are kind of the same things for me. Just really doesn't look that energized on the defensive side of the ball and is, letting up wide open threes and just not hustling back on defense, which is, yes, kind of a LeBron trait. He's done that for a majority part of this Lakers career and even in Cleveland as well. Like this isn't something new that we've seen from LeBron, him not running back on defense. But I'm just noticing he's not as quick defensively. He doesn't look as energized on that side of the floor, where we saw last year in the in-season tournament, right, in last year's NBA Cup, now that it's called, he was really energized on the defensive end. Like those games against the Pelicans and the Pacers, we saw LeBron James taking charges against Zion Williamson. We saw this guy locking up any opponent. Like he was really energized on that side of the floor. And these have been a couple NBA Cup games. Like that Thunder game was an NBA Cup game, and we're just not seeing that energy and defense from a guy that won it last year and really likes to be competitive in these NBA Cup or in-season tournament games, whatever you do want to call it. So that's the main thing I want to talk about, is probably his defense. But I think number 2, it has to be the turnovers. In all 4 of these games I've mentioned, the game against the Spurs, 5 turnovers. The game against the Thunder, really bad 5 turnovers. Like a lot of those were in the fourth quarter. Another game against the Sun, guess how many turnovers LeBron James has? also 5. And then we look at the game against the Nuggets, LeBron has 6 turnovers. So 5 turnovers in 3 games, and then 6 turnovers in that Nuggets game. It's just not looking good for LeBron. He's not taking care of the basketball. I mean, LeBron is one of the best passers of all time, one of the best facilitating, playmaking wings, right? He can do it all with the ball in his hands. Like, he can pass so effectively. And that's probably LeBron's greatest trait of his entire career is his passing. And I feel like, yes, he's always been a high turnover guy. It's not like LeBron is some, high assist to turnover ratio and he never turns the ball over. But you don't see this that often from LeBron, him turning the ball over in 3 straight games, 5 times, and then 6 times against the Nuggets, all in 4 games in a row. That just never happens for LeBron. And then I think the last thing I want to talk about here that I've really seen a decline from LeBron, and maybe this is just a bad stretch from the King, but that's the 3-point and just the efficiency in general. We look at the game against the Nuggets, and his efficiency was really bad. 1 for 4 from 3, 7 for 17 from the field. That's just nowhere near LeBron's status work when it comes to efficiency. Like this year and last year, he was shooting over 40% from 3. So to him to go 1 for 4 and 7 for 17 is not like LeBron. You look at the Suns game, right? Next game, he shoots 2 for 7 from 3, which is also horrible. And then he shoots 7 to 16, which maybe isn't as bad from the field. But LeBron is always a high 50s field goal percentage, I'll say. Like, LeBron is always going to get you at least 50% from the field. So you don't like to see that against the Suns. And then he plays the Spurs and he shoots, maybe not horrible again from the field, 8 to 18 from the field, but 0 to 2 from 3. So the shot really isn't there for LeBron over these last 4 games, and over the past couple weeks, he's been really inefficient. And then we also look at the game against the Thunder. It's the same thing, but probably even the worst game efficiency-wise, 5 of 13 from the field and 0 for 4 from 3. That is just something you don't want to see from your star player. Maybe not star player anymore because of Anthony Davis, but not something you want to see from your second best player. Now, to kind of wrap up the video and answer the question of the video, has Father Time arrived and got LeBron James? My answer as of right now is no. Yes, he's looked horrible over this 4-game stretch, but I do have that faith and the optimism in LeBron James. I mean, I have a feeling he's going to pick it up. I mean, he's playing the Jazz tonight as I'm recording this video, and I will be almost pretty confident that he has a 30-point, really efficient night against obviously a weaker Jazz team, so it maybe isn't the greatest of competition. But I do think LeBron is going to start to pick it up. But if he doesn't, and this continues for the next couple weeks or month, we can have a real conversation that LeBron is starting to decline. But we do have to remember, only a couple weeks ago, he was doing that amazing performance where he had like 16 points in the 4th quarter and he was just knocking down threes, and he's had 4 straight triple doubles, which he's never done in his entire career. He did that this season. So LeBron has still looked really good at the start of the year. I just feel like personally he's going through a really bad stretch over these past 4 games. But let me know in the comment section down below, do you think this is starting to be it for LeBron? Is that old age of almost 40 years old in less than a month starting to catch up for him? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.